Time is it? Half past midnight. I'll do this one, then I'm going to bed. More trucking stories. The old F88 stay that you used to drive. First one I drove was something 415K. Then again the BBC 97 something or other. That was a good registration number. And I bought a load of coal from South Wales. I got back to the yard at Cheddar and the head gasket had gone. And Jim the fitter said to Mick, that was a Mick down in Somerset and I had Mick up in Nottingham, but Jim, little wee Jimmy, said you better let somebody else take that coal down to Plymouth, Mick, and I'll put a head gasket on this F88. And Mick says, no, Arthur will be alright if he goes down steady. And Mick says, oh well, I'll beat on your head, and he threw his hands in the air and walked away. And Mick says, you know, keep stopping and pouring water in. So I managed to get down to Plymouth, the power station, tip the coal off, and I phoned him. So I've got Plymouth, Mick. I've managed to get here, and Mick says, run down to Falmouth. I thought, oh Christ. He says, a load of mackerel straight out the trawler to Aberdeen. I says, where? He said, Aberdeen. I says, what is this fucking old banger? He says, what do you mean fucking old banger? I says, well it is. I'll be lucky to get back to Cheddar. Never mind Aberdeen. He says, oh, you'll be alright, just go up steady. From fucking Falmouth in Cornwall up to Aberdeen in Scotland, just go up steady. I thought, you fucking clown. Well, stopping all the service areas up the M5, you know, motorway all the way. Once you get on the M5, up M6, and I go as far as Shat Fell, and bang, piston blew. And these scrap trailers that we had, aluminium scrap trailers carrying scrap metal, used to puncture them, and they were like a fucking travelling colander. When all the seawater, because they used to drop the fish straight in off the trawlers, and when all the seawater had run out, the fish used to compress, and you had thick, red, sticky, evil-smelling blood. And all the service areas at that time had got signs out, no fish lorries. But the piston blew, and I pulled in Shat Fell services, or a service area near Shat Fell. And I phoned Mick. I said, piston's blown, Mick. I suppose you've been thrashing it. I said, no, I fucking haven't. It was stupid sending it up here. He says, I'll send Jim out. I thought, well, that's going to give Jim a nice break away from the yard. And the service area manager came out. Get this vehicle off the service area now. I said, I can't, piston's blown. He says, what? I said, that's it, I'm stuck. The fitter's coming out. He says, where's it coming from? I says, Cheddar in Somerset. What? You'll be all day? I says, yeah, great. And get my head down and have a nice kick. He says, well, there's all red blood coming out the back of it. I said, is there? And he says, well, I can't have this, all the cars are running through it. I said, look, it's fresh mackerel in that trailer, and I knew it was overloaded as usual, by at least 2 to 4 ton. I says, get your men out with buckets and help yourself. Take as much mackerel as you want. And of course, he decided to decline my very generous offer. And as it happened, Jim didn't come out, because Big Dennis came down from Aberdeen. What was he driving? A big DAF. The registration, he could always remember the registration, UFB. He thought to Mick, you fucking bastard. Poor old Mick. And Dennis pulled in the service area. He passed and then did a U-turn, came back. He says, oh, I might have fucking guessed it was you. I said, don't start on me. Mick should never have sent it up here. He says, oh, that cunt. So we swapped trailers, and Dennis took my load up to Aberdeen, and I did a U-turn and potted back through the night, about 30 mile an hour, from Shat Fell back down to Cheddar. Arriving back just before daylight, and I just collapsed on the bed at the back of the seat. I was knackered. And daylight, Amanda knocked on the cab door. Take that lorry over there. Oh, I said, fuck off, I'm going home, I'm going to bed. Hey, what we short to drive? I said, I don't care, I'll be driving all night. I'm off, see you. I got in the car and drove home. And then I got the new Scania, brand new Scania, and once again waited at the dockside, and the trawler, you know, the crane on the trawler swung the net out of the trailer and it all flopped in, and they filled it up. I thought, God, I'm going to be able to wait here. And they wouldn't let us use the weighbridges because of the water, seawater that was running out. Well, this was before Mick got all those super single tyres, and the Scania 44 tonner had got about 24 fucking tyres on it. You know, on the unit, a lift axle on the unit, a lift axle on the trailer. And I pulled out the docks. Well, the engine was capable of pulling it, and by the way it was groaning and creaking, I could tell it was overweight. And approaching the first road island in Falmouth, all the residents stood there waiting with the buckets in their hand, because when you went around these islands and the trailers leaned, the fish used to drop over the side. So I thought I'll give them all a treat. With that many tyres, I knew it wouldn't turn over, so I approached the island a bit fast and swung the steering, and the trailer went, ooh, it leaned right over, and a huge wave of fish came over the side of it. I heard them all shout, hey! They were all stocking the freezers up with fresh mackerel. And back at Cheddar, once the seawater had run out and all the blood were coming out, Nick says, don't bring them back to the yard because it's contaminating the drains. Go straight up with them to either Hull or Aberdeen and book a night out. I says, oh, thank you very much. So we all pulled into this big lay-by. Somebody dropped the trailer and went down to a local supermarket in his unit and came back with a load of booze. We got his little gas burners out and frying pans, and there were enough fish there to feed the fucking 100,000. And we ate that much mackerel, we felt sick. Went to bed about midnight and pushed off at 5 next morning. But what was I going to say? Come on, quick thing. I've got to gather my thoughts. Where's my face? Where are they? Yeah, these scrap trailers, the sides spread. When you close the doors, you push the bar in and it pulls the sides in, then you put a pin in. But when you have the doors at Hull or Aberdeen, you sort of stand back, take the pin out and get a bar, keep tapping the big bar, and it sprung back at the side spread, and it went straight out. And one day, Geordie got something wrong with his trailer. The doors wouldn't fasten. Jim came out with his welding gear, his aluminium welding gear. He says, right, off you go, Geordie. And coming back up the M5, Geordie had a big load of fish in the back. The doors burst up and he laid a carpet of fucking mackerel on the M5. And the police were pissed off with it. It was happening all the time. And Geordie just left the motorway and came back up the side roads. Because if he was in court, he would have been done for insecure load, wouldn't he? And it was a laugh a minute at Cheddar, you know. Yeah. One morning the truck wouldn't start, and I walked back down the lane to Mick's house, big posh house. I thought, I hope he's bleeding Alsatian into that. Got a big stick in case it was, and I rang the doorbell, and this funny looking bald headed old man stuck his head out the window, out the bedroom window, shouted down, what do you want this time of the morning? I said, is Mick there please? He says, it's me! It was Mickey, and got his wig on. I said, it won't start. Well, what do you want me to do about it? I said, well, if you want the load there for 8 o'clock, somebody had better come out and fix it. He says, hang on, I'll phone Jim. So he came up, Mick came up the yard in his big flash American fucking Cadillac, and Jim followed him and got his welding gear out. No, it weren't his welding gear, it was something wrong, yeah, but he fixed it anyway. But I had a Mercedes Deutsch, German job, no radiator, big fins down each side of the engine, and Big Geordie said, some Maggie Harris ducks. I says, what? Maggie Harris ducks? I says, you illiterate bastard. It's Magarius Deutsch. He says, you think you fucking know it all, don't you? I says, well, I do. Don't you, Geordie? And he got me in a headlock. I said, hey, be careful, you know, I'm delicate. And the starter motor kept coming loose on this Magarius Deutsch. I went in the garage again, and Jim says, oh God. So he got his welding gear out and he welded the starter motor onto the engine. It says, off you go off. It won't come loose again. Oh, the mind boggles. And one of the big mirrors on the old F88 was loose, and I had to keep moving it, you know. So Jim fucking welded it. He said, it won't come loose again, off. Jim was great. And one day out on the moors, I had a breakdown. While I was waiting for Jim to come out, I was dying for a piss, so I had a piss at the side of the front wheel. And Jim came out eventually, and I says, it's oil filter, I think, Jim. And he got underneath and he put his hand in the water. He said, I think you got a water leak here off. And I did. Tell him I'd had a piss. He'd have gone mad. What do you do when you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere? And lots of things happened. There's many, many more, but anyway, I'm tired and I'm going to bed, so this will be short, or shorter than the last one. Yeah. So that's it. I'm going to bed. Sam's uploaded a long video. Well, I ain't got. It's too late, Sam. I can't watch it tonight. I'm tired. I've got to massage my legs. Now I'll stop taking quinine. I'm much better. I'm not stumbling and stuttering like I normally do, and I've got a lot more energy. Fucking quinine was poisoning me, you know. Yeah. I said to the doctor, he said, well, it's for cramp. I said, well, it never ever stopped the cramp. I said, I stopped it myself by massaging cream into my legs every night, especially my calf muscles. I said, now I stopped taking that quinine, I feel much, much better in myself. I'm not sleeping during the day, and when I eventually go to bed, I'm sleeping ever so well. He says, well, I'm very pleased for you. Of course, I've said this before. Dr. Kalik, some time ago, still smoking, Mr. Dale? I says, yeah. How many? I said, few. How many? I says, not all that many. How many? I said, oh, lying through my teeth. I said, about 10, 15 a day. He says, well, I told you, if you don't. I said, look, and I've told you, I'm a pensioner, I haven't got much of a social life, and I do enjoy standing out on my balcony having a smoke. I'm not packing it up, not for you nor anybody else. He says, well, if you don't, you'll have it to get. I said, I don't care. Tell me I'm going to die next year, fair enough. I'm 73 now. I've had a good life. I'm a spiritualist. I believe in life after death. So he said, well, I think I'd better give up with you then. I said, yeah, I think you better add. Fucking doctors are a pain in the arse. Driving on contract P&O for LPD around Birmingham, and one day listening to a local radio station, Radio WM, Ed Doolan. He had a doctor in the studio, said it's now a proven fact that pregnant mothers who smoke do harm the unborn child. So Mouth Almighty put me mobile up the phone station, and Ed Doolan said, we've got Arthur, lorry driver, Aston. And I said, my ex-wife has smoked like a chimney all her adult life. She's had 4 fine, fit, healthy children, 2 with me and 2 with these other blokes. I said, it's my opinion the medical profession generalise too much. We are all individuals, and different things affect different people in different ways. Now it's saying with people with height, they say that if you're a certain height, you should be a certain weight. That is generalising. We all know these tall, thin people who look as though they could do with a good meal. Well, they've got a high metabolism. We all know little fat people who are quite healthy, but they'll generalise all the time, don't they? And on about lung cancer, no one has ever died in our family of cancer. I've told my doctor, of course he don't agree with me. No, I said cancer's genetic. There's no cancer in our family. There's diabetes and heart trouble, yeah, but no one has ever died of cancer. So, you know, more or less, give it a rest, doctor. My ex, Christine, stopped smoking. Then she got colitis, the bowel complaint, like a lot of other women. And on the BBC Health website, if you have a look, colitis is most common in non-smokers and ex-smokers. And Christine said the hospital told her they're seeing more and more people who packed up smoking, they're going down with this colitis, the bowel complaint, and the last I heard they're treating it now with nicotine patches. So, you know, I'm going to carry on. You smoke and you non-smokers, shut your gobs. If you don't smoke, I'm very pleased for you. Don't lecture me. I firmly believe in life after death. And Christine used to say there's got to be something better than this. And I'm very much into that, because before I go to sleep, I'm going to read the book. I don't know how many pages I shall get through. It's about a famous American psychic, and how he, from his childhood up to the present day, a brilliant psychic. I'm very much into that kind of subject, and I've said before, all the spooky things that's happened to me. Seeing figures walk across a room and pass straight through a wall, and that figure, when I was a young child, staring at me in a bedroom and then just disappearing. And somebody said, you're probably psychic, and my son Andrew says, probably psycho more like. I said, thank you dear son, right, I'm going to bed, good night.